Hey, good evening, guys. This is John, the Sea Monkey Dude, and today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about comic books. How cool is that, right? I love comics. I always have since I was a kid. Still love comics. I typically like superhero ones, but there's all sorts of good stuff out there. I used to read some horror comics too with werewolves and, Tomb of Dracula, that kind of stuff, but mostly superheroes. I grew up liking Batman, Superman, X-Men mostly. And haven't read tons recently. As an adult, I read some. Got into Walking Dead a few years ago, like 10 years ago. It's been a while. Um, but yeah, I've collected comics for a long time. And then my collecting, took a shift and focused on other things. I used to collect everything. Now it's pretty much Pez, right? And over the past couple years, I got into collecting SeaMonkeys stuff. And you guys have seen lots of videos on that. So those are really the two main things that I collect now, but always been a comics fan. So why are we talking about comics on a SeaMonkey channel? Let's talk about that. So if you're, let's say, 10 years older than me or so, I'm 39. Um, you probably, and you read comics when you were a kid, you probably remember seeing ads for SeaMonkeys in comic books. That's how they became popular, right? And now they're in retailers and they're sold everywhere, which is great. But back then, it was mostly mail order, and they advertised in comics and magazines, mostly comic books. A lot of times it'd be on the back cover or somewhere in the middle. They stopped putting ads in comics about 40 years ago, before I was born. So this is like 1982 or 83, I think, was the last time a SeaMonkey ad ran in a comic book. So if you're a little bit older than me, you might remember, seeing those ads in comics when you were a kid. That's pretty cool. That's how a lot of people were introduced to SeaMonkeys. That's how my mom learned about SeaMonkeys, and she's the one that first bought them for me when I was a kid. She ordered them from an ad in a comic book. Now, maybe you're my age or younger, and you read old comics, which I read some old comics when I was a kid too. Then maybe you've seen some of the ads. But it's been 40 years since they advertised that way. Times changed, and they started doing a lot more in retail, and yeah, the business model changed, and that's all right. But that being said, SeaMonkeys are coming back to comics for the first time in 40 years. I think that is really, really cool, and it's something worth talking about. The comic book they're going to be in is Vampwyre #1. It's a brand new comic. The story has actually been around for a while, but this is the first time they're publishing it. And this is actually a preview issue that was available at Saratoga Comic Con a couple weeks ago. And they had a couple leftovers. They were on eBay. There might still be some. So if this is something you're interested in, go check out eBay, see if there's some left. And this is just a preview issue. It's in black and white. I read it yesterday. No, earlier today I read this. And it's a pretty cool story. I won't give away all the details. Issue #1 here is sort of like the origin of Vampwyre here. And basically he's a musician, a vampire, and a cyborg. That's what I got out of it. So pretty cool. And I'm curious to see what happens next. I just read the first issue here. But this one, again, this is a preview issue, like it says down here. It doesn't have all the ads and stuff like that. It's not a final, so this is, pretty rare. But in the back, I will show you guys this. So this isn't an ad selling SeaMonkeys, but this is a sample of one of the variant covers that's going to be available on Vampwyre #1 when they release the regular issues. So there's going to be multiple covers available. You know how comic books like to do that, right? And they'll have ones that are exclusive for this and that, and just variant colors, and different art on them. And there's going to be a SeaMonkeys cover, and it's going to look similar to this. That's pretty cool. So this one does not have the ad in it itself, where you can, order SeaMonkeys through the mail, but that's coming. I just think that's neat. They're sort of going back to their roots and putting an ad in comics again. I don't think they're going to cost $1 this time. Yeah, that's a bummer. But inflation, right? So even SeaMonkeys are impacted. So, but whatever it costs, I will order the set that's in the comic book, and I'll make sure to show you guys once that comes out. But yeah, I got this. I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. If you want to support Vampwyre, it's a brand new startup. You can go on what's it called? Kickstarter. Why couldn't I think of that? Kickstarter. There's all those crowdfunding sites. There's a few of them. They are on Kickstarter. It took me a minute to think of it. Just go on there and search Vampwyre, and you can support them. There's lots of different packages to choose from. They start at a few bucks and go up to like 1,000, I think. You know, so I supported already. I already backed the Kickstarter, and I know they are fully funded, which is great. So that way, anyone that gets in before it ends, which it ends in like a week and a half, so get in there if you're interested and back them. Anyone that backs them should be able to get the rewards that are on there. You know, I've funded some Kickstarters where they never got the ball rolling with whatever it is they're trying to do, and never got your whatever you were promised. And I guess you're not really promised, because you're only promised if it takes off. So never got the stuff that you were hoping to get, let's put it that way. So I'll show you real quick all the other goodies that came with this. Pretty cool. So I got this comic, like I said, from eBay. This is, the Comic-Con preview one, but I got a Kickstarter package. I think they're going to start shipping next month. That includes a bunch of variant covers, including that SeaMonkeys one. So I'll be sure to show you guys that. But here's, some art of the different characters from the book. And they've got NFTs that are out there too. I don't know much about NFTs, but I know that I got the first Vampwyre one. It looks pretty similar to this right here. So that's sort of neat. I'll post a picture of it on Instagram later. We got some stickers. Who doesn't love stickers? I mean, I've loved stickers ever since I was a kid, and I still do for whatever reason. They're awesome. So Blue Shack Comics is who's putting this out. Another cool Vampwyre sticker. This one's cool. It's got like an iridescent look to it. Blue Shack Comics sticker. That's it. Wanted to tell you guys about this. Go on Kickstarter. Remember the word now. Go on Kickstarter. Look up Vampwyre. Take a look at the project. If it's something that you want to support, go on there and do it soon. Today is Sunday, November 20th, I think. Yep, November 20th, 2022. If you see this video a couple years from now, hey, don't worry about it. The comic's out now. But if you see this right away after I post it, go on the Kickstarter, take a look at the different packages, and I encourage you to support it. It's cool to support the independent comics. We've got some big publishers that are out there, and they produce some great stuff, but there's lots of great stories that want to be told by people working for the smaller independent companies as well, that want to put their own stories out there. So take a look, get yourself some swag by helping them out on Kickstarter, including some cool SeaMonkey swag, not just comic swag. So that's it. I'm excited that SeaMonkeys are getting back to their roots, advertising in comics again. I don't know if that's something they're going to do long term. Well, I guess we'll probably see how well it goes. I bet if they sell a whole bunch of stuff with this one, they'll probably continue to do it. And maybe if they don't, they won't. They're a business, and that's probably the best way to look at it. But it's exciting to see, right? And there hasn't been a SeaMonkey ad in a comic book since I've been born, and not in anything new. So I've never ordered SeaMonkeys from a comic book, and I'm excited to be able to do that, myself in the next month or so here, right? It'll be really cool. All right, have a good night, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you later.